I welcome the release today of the report of the Victorian Parliamentary Inquiry. It's our hope that the inquiry and its recommendations will assist the healing of those who've been abused, and we also hope that it will enhance the care of victims and families and strengthen the preventative measures which are now in place. Victims bravely came forward to give their accounts, often at great personal cost. The inquiry has been an important opportunity for victims to be heard. The report documents terrible abuse that occurred in the Catholic Church, mainly in a 25-year period from 1960 to 1985. It also sets out the inexcusable failures in the Church's response to that abuse. The committee's report is rightly called betrayal of trust. I've spoken before about this betrayal and the irreparable damage it has caused. It is the worst betrayal of trust in my lifetime in the Catholic Church. As the inquiry heard, we were far too slow to address the abuse or even to accept that it was taking place. I fully acknowledge that leaders in the Church made terrible mistakes. These are indefensible. We know that the long-term suffering of victims and their families continues. And on behalf of the Catholic Church in Victoria, I apologise again for these failures to the victims, to their families, and to the community. The report does have some criticisms of our processes, the Melbourne response and towards healing. It also acknowledges that these processes are a genuine attempt to respond meaningfully and that they have provided assistance to many victims. We believe they have supported victims who've come forward and have helped to prevent further abuse. At the same time, we accept we can do better and are committed to improvements wherever possible. We cooperated fully with the inquiry and welcomed the opportunity to share our submissions and proposed reforms. More than 20 church representatives testified to the inquiry. The Catholic Church in Victoria supports the inquiry's key recommendations, and the recommendations cover 5 important areas: changes to criminal law, easier access to the criminal justice system, to the civil justice system, an independent alternative avenue for justice, greater independent monitoring and scrutiny of organisations, and further improvements to prevention processes and systems. And these are all important initiatives that will help to protect Victoria's children and enhance the response to victims and their families. The report is the beginning of a further period of exploration as the government considers its response over the next 6 months, and victims and organisations review the recommendations and findings. And we welcome this ongoing process and are committed to contributing to it constructively over the coming weeks.